Like, I think once you've decided, and if you are absolutely sure this is not a fit and it's not going to work, I think you should be fast to fire, but you can do it in a way that helps somebody move on in a really productive way. We're going to get to that in just a second, but I don't think we should do it unless we've done a few things particularly well. Like, number one, and we've talked about this in a lot of previous episodes, like this is our little checklist, clear feedback. And it's not just over the course of work, kind of clear, radical candor, but that kind of feedback that is a little bit more existential of, you know what, it's not working. It's that kind of feedback. So where it's like really causes someone to pull their eyes up and go, what do you mean it's not working? If we haven't done that, I don't think it's really fair to remove someone before we've really done that. I think another thing, and this is very much from the multiplier mindset, is it's probably not time to move someone out of the organization unless you have given it a legitimate chance to try them in a different role. Like, okay, if I've got some flexibility, let me try to, figure this out, what they're good at, and give them a chance to do that in a new role. And I think you've got one here as well.
Yeah, and another one that makes all the difference in the world. And think if you've had this experience where you get them an internal buddy, maybe somebody that you believe has the ability to speak their language, but they also know how to win in the domain that this individual has been assigned to win from. Listen, I've been the recipient of a buddy on way more than once. And I look back at those individuals, first the leader who helped give the resource and the individual that would give me the attention that I needed to. There was one time I really was struggling in this role to try to figure out what success looked like. There were ambiguous problems, and the leadership kind of knew what they were looking for. It was kind of like they knew success when they saw it, but it wasn't necessarily like explained up front. I was given a buddy by manager who really helped me break down the situations in a way that I was able to start to see where the gold was. And that skill has stayed with me, because you want to be, as an impact player, you want to try to be the person who people can count on to help the team win, but you can't be the person that helps the team win if you're not good at spotting where the gold is. And that's not always clear, but it was a buddy. I could have just been fired because I was incompetent at the beginning, but instead I was given a buddy. They helped me figure out how to recognize where the gold was, completely transformed my career. And now I've got two people that I'm grateful for, a manager and a buddy.
Okay. And my experience with the buddy is that I think we resent having to carry people's water over and over and have to pick up the slack. But when a leader comes to us and says, you know what, so-and-so is struggling to kind of find their footing in this role, would you kind of, be their buddy and help them figure this out? I have found that people always respond positively to that, because it's positive, it's productive, and it has a time limit. It's not like you're going to carry their water forever. It's like, you know what, let's give them a chance to figure this out.
Yeah, for the next lap.
Yeah.
Another one is, for those of you that are familiar with multipliers, is to identify their native genius, which isn't trivial for several reasons. If you're trying to figure out what people do easily and freely, this is what we call native genius. Easily being the things that come natural to people, freely the things that they'd wake up at 5 a.m. to do. If you can figure out what that is, it can also kind of help you as a leader directionally figure out how you could use them in a way that would kind of tap into what's natural to them. And it helps you reassess, what are we asking them to do? And if the genius is in a completely different direction. We had a software architect at one point who was incredible at building frameworks that other coders could use, but terrible at actually coaching coders how to use them. That sounds like a bit of a problem, doesn't it? So we needed this developer to be able to build these frameworks. But as soon as that he had built them, the problem was nobody could get the training they needed to use the framework. So then now all of a sudden, the framework's not very useful. And so we figured out that his native genius was clearly never going to be in the training side of the house. And so we actually kind of combined two things with one. Understanding what his native genius wasn't, we found somebody who spoke his language, who had the native genius of training, and they did everything together. this one developer built the frameworks, and then right behind him, this other developer came and trained everybody on how to use those tools. But it was kind of like harnessing of native genius in two areas that actually made this whole project be extremely successful.
Well, and it's got like helping reframe the role, identifying someone's native genius, putting like a pairing system together. But like these are all things that we can do before we decide this person can't be successful in this role.